Okay, so I'm looking crazy today because I didn't take my makeup off last night. As you can see, it dripped. I'm just waking up this morning with thoughts on my mind. And during Christmas time this year, a stranger went up to somebody in my church. He's not a part of my church, but he came to our Christmas thing. And how this man knew my life story without knowing me. My church hardly knows me. I've only been a part of this church for like 2 months. He knew of a generational curse thrown on my family back. I don't know if it was when they first got here to America through Ellis Island days, or if it was back in the old country, which would be in my family, Italy or Sicily, which is basically the same thing. Yes, excuse me, I look fucking crazy. I should not be going on YouTube like this. But I told you guys I was going to show you the real raw me. This is the real raw me. These videos won't get exciting and all, what do you call that? Like all the video graphics and all that until I can put money into it. And if you know anything about me, I do activism, I fight for rights, and I do it for free because that's what activists do. We sacrifice lives of luxury, lives of convenience, lives of comfortability for a purpose. That's why I call my name of my channel of me struggling for a purpose. Because my heart's too big. And like Kevin Gates said, my loyalty got used against me. If you guys don't know who Kevin Gates is, you probably might not even be hip-hop fans, but everybody loves Tupac. And Gates is coming out real close, swinging behind him. The knowledge and the wisdom gained. And the fact that someone is so much like me is just like incomprehensible. And I've had to find it in someone famous because you don't get to meet everyday people. Today's a good day and today's a hard day because today I have to realize that there's some people who only love me because of my love for them. This isn't anything romantical. This is my love for people. But we're all going to get used and manipulated once in our lifetime. I've studied Christianity hardcore. I love Islam. I study Islam. I'm not sure any of these religions is really correct. From my thinking right now, it's the universe and universal powers and laws. That's what's really rocking out here. Generational curses are one of the hardest things to break because you really don't know where they came from and they're so old. And I don't know why they were placed upon the women in my family. I can most definitely say it was my mother's side, which would be the Sicilian side. If anybody knows anything about Italians, the Sicilians probably are the most corrupt and evil. If you don't know, the mafia comes from Sicily. Any regular old Italian, yeah, they could be in the mafia, but the mafia comes from Sicily. I have my ideations on why, and I think it's because of whatever 100 years ago, an African tribe called the Moors, led by Hannibal, if my history is correct from my studies, invaded Sicily. Italy and an African tribe were fighting over the power of Sicily. If I'm wrong, don't mark my words. This is just from studies. Different studies have changed. Like, one study will say one thing, one study will say another, but it correlates, if you know what I mean. And I didn't even know this, but there's actually voodoo that comes from Italy, and that was like a huge shock to me because of, you know, the Vatican being in Italy. Yes, the Vatican's corrupt. Sorry, God, but it's corrupt. Maybe I don't need to be sorry for that because you already know. I want to enlighten people. I want people to know so many things. I want people to know that eating fruits and vegetables, what comes from this earth, is the only way to eat. We are so sick from eating dairy and like milk, eggs, and meat. This might be the first time you heard this. I learned this at 30 years old. I'm 31 now. Maybe I was 29. We as humans are the only animal type of thing that has the teeth of herbivores that eats meat. So back in the cage, oh shit, I'm fucking up this morning because my mind's so foggy. And I'm doing these impromptu because, like I said, I'm going to give y'all the real. I'm not going to set up a little fancy fucking background and, oh, I'm bougie, I got this, I got that, I'm this, I'm that, because you're not going to get the real from them. I'm doing something totally different on this YouTube thing. So I'm waking up this morning. This right here is the top bunk to my bunk bed. I'm not living in luxury. I will live comfortably one day. Because there's a purpose for struggle, y'all. But, there was a time when I was working and I had to really stop with what was for the people. And, it's because I had a young baby by myself. No family, friend support, none of that. Maybe a eensy-beensy here and there. Yeah, I'm going to wipe this makeup off. But really not much. Maybe $20 here, $50 there. But you know what? It wasn't the money I wanted. I wanted a babysitter. I needed a babysitter so that I could make things happen. Because anybody with kids knows that you cannot do so many things if you have a baby with you. Now, when my baby was under 10 months, my second baby, the one that's 3 right now, I have an 11-year-old who does not live with me. And that is due to an incarceration. Why was I incarcerated? Because A, I did wrong. And B, I wouldn't tell. And that's just the truth of it all. Everything is public record. You can look it up for yourself. There was no audio, no video, none of that on my case. And they didn't even have a witness other than a junkie trying to flee prosecution. Now, it was like days before my trial, my lawyer came to me. Now, I was in a rinky-dink town where all the cops, law enforcement, matter of fact, that whole little rinky-dink town is related. Part ancestrally. Like, as if people are marrying their family members. Yes, this is true. Yates County, New York. You know what I'm talking about. Luckily, I had co-defendants that held it down. Nobody told on nobody. But later on in life, which would be 1 year ago, one of my co-defendants, I guess, set up some deal with my son's father, who I don't get along with. We have domestic violence. Well, he brought it upon me. I was very, very healthy-minded into relationships because of my studies and my incarceration. And just through life. I was that crazy bitch with my first love. So shout out to Angel. You got the crazy bitch in me. But you know what? I know why. That was a learning lesson I had to learn from that. So I know he wasn't meant for me. He was meant for some... Even when we were together, I told him, you're not meant for me. You're meant for some one of these girls that's not independent, that has to live off of you, that listens to you and obeys you. Listen, bro, you quit school in the 8th grade. I have a college partial education. I've been to hair school. I study on my own. I'm an intellect. You can't tell me what to do when my money's longer than yours. You don't know more than me. And you're what would have been a whole grade younger than me, but because of all the failures, he's like 5 grades younger than me, but only 3 months younger than me. I knew he wasn't for me. And I told him the exact type of girl that was for him. No diss to her. All love, because all I ever hear is that she takes good care of my son. Now, is my son being roboted to tell me that? I don't know. But from what I hear, she takes great care of my son. So all love and honor to you. You know who you are. Miss B. Because what really matters is my son taken care of well in my absence? Now, after prison, my point was to get back my son. I waited patiently. My first summer, I got out of prison, September 2015. I made a trip with the only little money I got, 8 months pregnant, rented a car. Even my son's father, with all of our fighting and stuff, helped me finance this. We didn't even finance our own baby. We financed the trip to see my big son. Because my mother said she needed a babysitter the last 3 weeks of summer for her to work, and my son would not be in school. My father had to work, even though they took residential ownership over my son.